Good morning. Hello. What's up? What it do with the business is collected? This is Intuitive Tarot. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you guys so much for your love, your kindness, your support, your comments, definitely your emails. All right. Thank you guys so much. This is a general reading. So only take what resonates, leave the rest. The entire reading may not resonate with you. Hopefully you guys are doing so good. Very well. Keeping your vibration high. Staying prayed up. But we're going to get right into it. We're going to jump right into this reading. Pull a few cards and get a message out, all right? But overall, thank you guys so much for the support of my channel, as well as my other channel, Divine Eye Mystic Tarot. So, thank you guys so much. I can't thank you enough, all right? If you have not subscribed to my channel so far, hopefully you do, all right? Or you just get in it for the vibe, especially if the reading doesn't resonate with you. All right. This could be past, present, or future energy. That of my collective, your past person's collective. People around you, them, places, times, and also events. This could be clarity and validation for other intuitives as well. All right. So again, this is Intuitive Tarot. Well, let's get right into it. The first card out is you gave me realness and I gave you lies. It came out in reverse though. You gave me realness. I gave you lies. So this could be a past situation. This could be, something that already has transpired, or something that's already been made known, or this is something that it's something that's already been made known, either to you or to whoever this is regarding, that you gave this realness to. And someone could feel like they didn't, lie to you, or they don't feel like you were completely honest with them. Let's keep going and see what this is about. Any more on this message? Libra masculine can be significant. Got a couple other cards that came out. And this one that was trying to come out, so we're going to see what that is. Next card, never felt love until you came into my world. Mystical. Like somebody could feel like you, very mystical. Could be a mystical traveler. Like somebody's heart chakra may have been closed at one time. Like they may have, closed their heart off, after being hurt or being led astray on here. Like somebody may have, fallen too fast for people or something like that, and that didn't deserve them. Next card. See now that these was jealous, messy karmics. Somebody saying now that, the company they keep, was a downfall, like, not knowing exactly how to navigate whatever it was they were dealing with, or, rectifying like their actions, or looking at how each individual, impacted their life. I feel like, sometimes some people don't see the people around them as a hindrance, you know what I'm saying, or a block until things is not going so good, until they are away from these people. Like when you are away from them and you separate yourself, even if you go around like entities and you in a dark place, or you in your south node, it feels very off balance, because you deal with people that, they want to be of the light, but it's confusing when you around people that is of the light, and the things that you have not worked on or taken accountability for when it comes to the things that you have to be self-aware of, can be triggering when you're around somebody that's of the light, that is in a north node. Next card, this dark warlock is coming to God in prayer and repenting to him. So there's a dark warlock. Like, it could be a past person, could be a father figure. Don't have to be. They could be part of some group, or they could just, be independent, with what they're doing when it comes to, how they use their gifts. So this card hanging out is hookups and flings. Didn't come completely out, but it wanted to. So, but we're not gonna keep it. But you gave somebody realness, they gave you lies. Like somebody, they never felt love until you came into their world, but they feel like you somebody, that's hard to read. Like, you hard to read. And I feel like they wasted a lot of time maybe trying to do that too. Especially if they, this was a dark warlock and they were like low key. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't make it known to you. Maybe you didn't, you wasn't into like knowing, somebody you were involved with, would even be into something like that. Especially if they didn't give you, no signs or no indication that they, were even involved in, you know what I'm saying, any kind of dark practice or something like that, especially when you know of things, but you don't think people, common sense wise, wise. Some people are more religious than spiritual, and some people are both. But you got people that really think folks of the church is, free and clear of anything dark. They not. You know what I'm saying? That's not for everybody, but as time go on, churches, what go on in churches reveals itself. So just keep paying attention, and any questions you might have, any theories you may have, they're gonna be answered, because people that attend those churches, and they part of these groups, like, they eventually will get to the point where the truth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? You can't hide it with money. You can't hide it with, a brotherhood or a sisterhood. At some point, if God wanted to be exposed, it's going to be exposed. And he will use people within your community, within these people, facility, they domain, to do that. I mean, you a vessel of God. If you allowing God to use you, then that's what he going to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever God you serve. Clarify, you gave me lies. You gave me realness. Or somebody feel like you gave them lies, child, and they gave you, but it's in reverse. So you gave me realness and I gave you lies. Clarify why it's in reverse. You gave me realness and I gave you lies. You gave me realness. You got the Hierophant with the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So you're generous for somebody. see you as, somebody, very giving, very generous. They see you as, somebody they can see themselves, married to, especially if they see you as somebody that they can build with, they can grow with this 4 of Wands, moving forward, when it comes to them, working on themselves and looking within with the Chariot, like wanting to go on this journey moving forward, starting with, it may be faced with some challenges, but they, willing to face whatever those challenges are, even if it, even when it starts with they self or, some things that they know they need to have more control over and self-discipline, um, Six of Swords in reverse, like, yeah, so somebody could be stuck in the past, like, they don't want to move on, or they went back to somebody in the past, because they heart chakra was closed. Like, somebody may have, somebody could feel like whatever they gave, you gave them realness, they gave you lies. Like somebody's heart chakra was closed at the time. Like they were not, they felt, they didn't feel love or they didn't, see love the way you saw it. Like somebody had a different, ideology or some other, perception of what they thought love was or how they felt like love, would present itself for them, to them. But I feel like, if they had some type of ideology with this Hierophant, like if they had some type of traditional or some type of religious or something, that they normally, rectify with when it comes to how they identify, love in that sense, like I said, somebody could have been more religious than spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Like they may have been, a church goer and stuff like that, or they, had they beliefs. But it's like when you got a belief system that you feel like, you have to live by, die by, and this is just how it goes, then, you're going to listen to and kind of take instruction, from people maybe of authority or, get guidance from people that you feel like, is telling you the right thing until they not. If they, misleading you, because you got somebody, that's a dark warlock. You know what I'm saying? Like they coming, they having this coming to God moment. You know what I'm saying? With repenting to him, for the things that they may have indulged in with this Hierophant. But at the bottom of the deck, you got the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Chariot, the Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah. Four of Cups. Like somebody, slow healing. Like you could be slow healing from this. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Because you got Libra masculine out here. All right. But somebody slow healing, you know what I'm saying? They were running away from their problems. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, whatever it is now that they feel like, you're not accepting any offers or, they wasn't accepting any offers. Maybe they wasn't confident or things like that in themselves. Or something like that. But they see you as somebody very generous. They see you as somebody, that they can, possibly marry with this Four of Wands, or they see you as somebody, that's very giving, that, they know they got to face challenges or they willing to go on this journey, face these challenges. Cancer energy. Clarify the Hierophant. You gave me realness and I gave you lies. What's the Hierophant? What's this Hierophant about? What's the Hierophant? Ten of Swords. Gemini energy. Something caused an ending too. Something caused an ending, and it could have been something that this person, just felt like. Queen of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. Somebody was a Queen of Cups in reverse. You know, somebody, you know, that just came with unnecessary drama. Like they, yeah, could be a Cancer. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with this Queen of Cups. But it's, you know, somebody possibly dealing with like a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, possibly a Virgo with this Magician in reverse. At the bottom of the deck, you got the Queen of Cups and the Magician in reverse. Like somebody definitely was on. That could be a Virgo, like I said, or they could have Taurus or Capricorn in their chart. But somebody definitely, you know, was on some fuckery with this Magician in reverse. Like they gave you some lies for sure, but you know this is them manipulating their gifts. Whoever this warlock is, that's repenting now. What's the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords? Clarify the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords. What's the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords? Like somebody feel like whatever they, something was like the last sword. Like, and for some of you or somebody in particular, like this last connection with this last cycle you closed out, Ten of Swords, like this could have been the last um cycle with someone, like out of the people you walked away from, ended things with. This could have cleared out your karmic debt. You know, whatever you had going on as far as, you know, any failed connections, whether they family, friendships, you know, co-workers, you know, things that, you know, opportunities that may have fallen, you know, people that may have stabbed you in the back, you know, in different places, you know, different areas of life. And this could have been like a, you know, a 10-year cycle for some of you, some less, but something was the last sword, you know, but it's the last cycle that you would have to, you know, go through, you know, this kind of, you know, I want to say treachery in, you know what I'm saying? So that's for somebody in particular. What's the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords? What's the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords? Clarify the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords. What's the Hierophant with the Ten of Swords? The King of Wands. Scorpio could have fire in their chart dealing with a Sagittarius. Somebody can be a fellow fire sign. But somebody, you know, is actually now, you know, is showing, you know, up as like a protector. You know what I'm saying? Like a natural born leader. Or this is you. Because this is somebody that, you know, is like feeling like, you know, something between you and them was magnetic. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, you know, is seeing something as inspiring. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to being around you, or it was things about you that this person couldn't really get a grasp on. Like they, you know, may have spent a lot of time trying to figure you out. Like, why are you like this? Or because when somebody is around people or used to fake love, or when they around somebody they feel like, you know, has loved them, or what they thought love was, and somebody comes along and loves different. You know what I'm saying? Their actions are different. but the actions is not in a bad way. It's something that allows a person when they not around you to like wonder why you that way, or how did you get that way, or why did you do what you doing, even if you explaining it and you expressing it, you know. It's like being, you know how when you see, you know, your favorite, you know, sports player, you know what I'm saying, you know, at work, like they could be at practice and they showing you, you know, what a practice day is like. If they are boxing, they showing you what they training days is like. You know, it inspires, you know, it tells you, they talking about how they don't want to get out of bed. They don't feel like being in the gym, but they do have to get up and, you know, push themselves and motivate themselves, you know, either on the way there, once they get there, because of the things they really don't, you know, they know what goes into it, but it's like, can we just stay great all the time without having to practice, without having to train? And it's like being around somebody that's constantly training you like a guide, constantly training you or showing you like the ropes, or like showing you, you know, how something, different ways of how you can manage something or see something. And now this person is, you know, coming off as, you know, somebody that's like a protector. You know what I'm saying? Or this is how you come off to them. Like you somebody that's very stern, very faithful, you know what I'm saying? But somebody that, even if you're a single parent, like you could be in your masculine energy because of, you know, the responsibilities you have, you know, the actions you have to take, you know, day in and day out. So when it comes to somebody actually filling that position or putting you in your soft girl era, like they would have to, you know, release you from some things that you know, are constantly always, that, you know, the first to do, you know, the only person to do, you know what I'm saying, in your household, at your job, in a connection with your friends, you know what I'm saying. You always got them people that or say, you know, out of all my friends, I'm the one everybody, you know, dump they shit on. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one everybody come to, you know, about situations. So I remember I think it was Glorilla, when she was saying how people think, you know, when you're a strong person, you know, for people that, you know, are weak, they make you feel, you know, when you they strength, they make you weak. But they don't think, you know, when you giving them, you know, encouragement, when you giving them inspiration, when you giving them motivation, they don't think you need it back. They don't think to reciprocate that back. They feel like if you always, they see you as always strong, even if they don't say it. And they say it in certain ways by always coming to you, asking you, you know what I'm saying? You can only give them advice, you know what I'm saying, in the best way possible, but you can't do it for them. You know what I'm saying? They have to put it in action and actually see how it feels to put something that they decide to do in motion. But with this King of Wands, like somebody realizing, you know, when you gave them realness, you know, they were giving you lies, but that's one of the things that somebody ended up listening to or going by, you know, a certain way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And listening to, you know, however something was being communicated to them. Because this Hierophant is, you know, talking about your throat chakra. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's time for you to speak up and what's going on, you know, in a group of people, you know what I'm saying? Or some authority figure that they talk to, or somebody that they feel like, you know, holds that leadership role. And it's like they may have told them, you know, something one way and had them looking at something one way, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And whatever that was, it caused a Ten of Swords. If somebody told them, like, listen, do this, go this way, be like that, you know what I'm saying? And they may have caused a betrayal. Ten of Swords, you know what I'm saying? It may have caused some failure between you and them. Something, you know, that they did, you know, resulted in some type of failure, some disappointment, you know. But at the same time, now this is somebody that, because they see you as somebody strong, like somebody sees you as, you know, a powerhouse, but this is how they coming out. Or this is you. Because it's like somebody with this Page of Wands, like this is somebody, you know, that's could be a business owner, you know what I'm saying? Could own your own business. You could, you know, be a CEO, don't have to be. But it's like somebody, that's innovative. You know what I'm saying? Like they, know how to, they pull the, you know what I'm saying? They pull the punches. They know how to navigate. You know what I'm saying? You know, like somebody know how to get in there and get whatever they need to do done. You know what I'm saying? Like they are visionary. Like they can see, what it is, however it is that whatever it is they want to do, they can see themselves doing it. They can see themselves, at work, doing whatever they're doing before they even get there. If they're an entrepreneur, they somebody that can see themselves at a business, calling shots, getting out there, getting their hands dirty, working with their crew, or, putting in just as many, hours as the employees. Just because I own this place don't mean that I'm, naive to what goes into it. I'm willing to get in and, dig deep, and get my heels in, like y'all. It's like that. But, faithful and inspiring, even. But this is, what they feel like they can give you. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, failed to give you this, but they coming off as somebody that, they feel like they failed. They giving you this when they knew they could have been this way. Like this person could have been this way. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have gave you that, but at the same time, this is, you getting your piece. You know what I'm saying? They may want to cause some type of, truce or something now with this four of swords at the bottom of the deck, justice in reverse. So, like you could have just moved on, and be protecting your peace now. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be, or they recuperating, reevaluating things, when it comes to them not taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like being dishonest. Mm. And I feel like somebody, was listening to outside people too that kind of, tripped them up, or like told them a certain way to see something, or they went by a certain way of, handling something, when it comes to this Hierophant. What's the Ten of Swords with the King of Wands? What's the Ten of Swords with the King of Wands? Hmm. Got the Nine of Wands. I don't know if somebody was listening to somebody, that was like, cause I'm hearing, am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Like somebody could have been listening to their brother or something like that. Cause with this Nine of Wands in reverse, this is like, somebody like giving up, like refusing to compromise. It's in reverse though. It's in reverse. So whatever it is that somebody, somebody was using, like, mm-mm. Somebody can definitely be a Sagittarius. Somebody could be a fire sign, involved with a fire sign, or somebody that is a fire sign that and has fire in a chart. You got the Hangman at the bottom of the deck in reverse. I was arrogant. Whoever this was in the past when they did this, like somebody, sacral chakra was, wasn't active. But I feel like, when it comes down to somebody being stubborn, and very, was not standing their ground. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody was. Because in the upright, this is about you standing your ground, but in the reverse, it's not. It's like, it's like letting somebody else tell you, how to see something. And like saying, I'm gonna do this way. You know what I'm saying? This is, having using, like inner resources when it comes to how you see something, because you can, I'm telling you, somebody like was trying to figure you out, and when you're a dark warlock, and you got somebody that's avoiding, spiritual, they spiritual path, and they, try to hide behind religious or being in some type of group or something like that, especially if this group, was known for, betrayals. You know what I'm saying? They do a lot of things behind the scenes that's backstabbing. You know what I'm saying? But somebody in that group was like a king of wands, like somebody coming off as, you know, or how somebody tell them like, man, you the one with the, the power, you the one with the know-how. You know what I'm saying? You the one with the, you wear the pants. You know what I'm saying? Of course. But at the same time, I feel like, somebody got some advice from somebody, in a group that kind of, all think the same way. They all support each other, in what they do, but it causes a lot of Ten of Swords. You know what I'm saying? It causes a lot of, failure for these individuals, in particularly your person, because they, felt like this person, and my brother's keeper, like somebody is part of some type of brotherhood or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or they, following what other people, they know and they family have been like, or what they do or how they see things. And they doing that. Like they support them in doing it. You know what I'm saying? They may have made accomplishments or made moves in their life that kind of done excelled and expanded, and they saying, I was able to do this, I was able to do that. I had 3 or 4, women, what I'm saying? I had 3 or 4 men, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what they don't know won't hurt them. You know what I'm saying? What you may not know may not hurt you, but what is shown to you probably will. Especially if you keep ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? And following other people's, rule book, when it comes to your happiness. But with this Nine of Wands in reverse, this Ten of Swords with this King of Wands, it's clarified by this Nine of Wands in reverse. And I feel like that's where, somebody's last sword came from, was the fact that they were listening to somebody, when it came to, how they handled you. And it may have, caused you to, be somebody that, at one time, they manipulated things that, you really cared about when it came to them. And it was like this person tried and tested everything that you put out. Like I'm telling you, like somebody tested everything that you came with. Everything that you came with, they went back and, chopped it up with people. And they told them, how to counteract it. Like, how to, they shot it down. You know what I'm saying? Like they made this person look at it, in a whole different light. And it caused, you not to trust this person. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have any trust in them, or they didn't have any trust in you. But it was a lack of trust, you know what I'm saying? And it was a struggle. I feel like something became very overwhelming. And I feel like if it was your person, I feel like they were very overwhelmed by some of the things that they were seeing, that felt going on between you and them. Like they were, I'm talking about they were taken back by it. This person third eye, was blocked, you know what I'm saying? But it's one of them things where you end up going through a dark night of soul, especially when you resisting change and you coming for a light worker, a light entity, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's of, the light. But when at the same time it's with anybody, like if you look at anybody, like everybody like they of the light, you should want to do right by everybody that you come in contact with. You know what I'm saying? But not being naive about, things being reciprocated, because some people may not can give you back what you give them, but they going to give you something. You know what I'm saying? Like some people can't, somebody gift you a car. You may not be able to gift them a car 3 years from now, but you can gift them something, of value that is beneficial and helpful, in their day to day. You know what I'm saying? It brings value to their life, in some, small or big way. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to match somebody else's, love language or they, things like that, to the letter, especially if your intentions, on what you giving and what you putting into it is pure. It comes with good intentions. Never felt love until you came into my world. Clarify. Never felt love until you came into my world. But I feel like, somebody, realizing just what they caused with this Ten of Swords, like, and it came with a lot of insecurity, you know what I'm saying? A lot of stubbornness, a lot of, dishonesty when it came to, them being defensive. You know what I'm saying? And you standing your ground or them standing their ground. It was like, it's like somebody want to give you somebody you can trust, but they untrustworthy. Basically with the, or somebody trying to come off like, they was your protector, and things like that. You were just paranoid, you know what I'm saying? Or it was you, being stubborn, you know what I'm saying? And not having any trust, in them. But what I'm really, that's not, the half, but I feel like, that's another way to look at it. But, with this Page of Wands and this Nine of Wands in reverse, it's like, somebody coming off as something, you know, they want to be now, but that's what they were then. Like this Nine of Wands and that Ten of Swords, like somebody was definitely, and even with this Hangman at the bottom of the deck in reverse, Pisces energy, like somebody was arrogant, you know what I'm saying? That fear of sacrifice, like I don't want to give up, this way of living. I don't want to give up, this ideology, this, way of thinking, that version of me to go somewhere or go in a direction or think another way, you know what I'm saying? But the way you think and how you move and how you love, like this person, never felt that. Like they ain't never experienced somebody like coming towards them like that or, behaving like that with them. It almost make you think, did I ever really, love anybody, or did the people I thought loved me, did they ever really love me? If this person saying they love me and they doing this, like nobody's done this before. That's what I'm getting. Never felt love until you came into my world. Clarify. Yeah, somebody was dealing with a divine feminine in reverse with this Empress in reverse, and you got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So, when it came to whoever they were dealing with, could have been a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could have been an earth sign, low vibrational earth sign at that. Um, 22nd, 23rd, 25th could be significant. 29th, December. December 2nd. Sagittarius. Somebody could be a Sagittarius too. Like somebody can have yeah, could be a cusp with somebody with December 2nd, December 14th, December 10th too. But yeah, like somebody, was dealing with someone that possibly, like was not, willing to commit, man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody, they could be, a feminine that they were involved with. Like somebody felt like, they never knew what that was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody was with someone that possibly, was an empress in reverse. Like this was somebody that was not very nurturing, was not very nice. You know what I'm saying? It could have been a mother figure, could have been a baby's mom, they kid's mother. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody came off as somebody that was not, very loving, you know what I'm saying? They may have been very insecure. They may have had to do a lot, to, prove themselves, and be accepted or, get recognition or be, like somebody was not given that nurturing kind, loving, energy before. You know what I'm saying? Like how you come off like a mother figure to them. Like you like somebody very kind, caring, nurturing like that is not, how somebody got something, in the past. Like it didn't come off like that. Somebody was dealing with someone that was, dealing with a lot of emptiness. Like they could have had a parent or a baby mama or something that didn't feel like they were validated, enough, or they, didn't give them much, hugs, or they didn't say I love you like that, as much or at all. You know what I'm saying? Or they wasn't, as attentive as you may have been. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't as helpful, watchful even. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an imbalance between you and this person, but they, whoever they were involved with in the past, they were, out of balance with. But it was a lot of, could have been an issue of them not being able to commit, but it was, some kind of like putting too much of yourself into somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like giving a whole lot to somebody else and you get nothing. It's like I'm always giving. I'm always doing for this person. I'm always showing them, that I care about them. You know what I'm saying? I'm always doing. They always got me doing this or doing that. If I don't do this, then they feel like, I don't give a damn. Or if, it's something like this, like somebody's so used to something, they always have to give to, or they always being manipulated, always something like that. And somebody that just had that inability to commit to things. You know what I'm saying? Like they, have mainly dealt with, a lot of more than one empress in reverse. I feel like, but you self-efficient. Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the Six of Wands, Six of Cups, 666. Could be significant. Definitely look this up. But this person sees you as self-efficient. They see you as, you know, somebody, that's naturally abundant. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of good energy around you. You every time you're around this person, they, feel like, they winning. You know what I'm saying? Like their heart chakra is activated. You know what I'm saying? From just being around you, and it's different. You know what I'm saying? They think about it a lot. This person, man, yeah, they taking responsibility now. Wanting to possibly confess, whatever this is that they needed to express to you or something like that. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, like somebody got to reveal some type of truth about something. What's this Empress in reverse with the Two of Pentacles in reverse about? Clarify the Empress in reverse with the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Judgment in reverse. Libra energy. Yeah, somebody got a lot of, regret. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guilt. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to how they came off, or like how they handled, a situation, especially when it comes to like seeing something for what it is, and not yeah, it's that inability to face, whatever it is that you've done, you know what I'm saying, or been like, you know what I'm saying, like somebody was avoiding judgment, you know what I'm saying, like somebody, was trying to, I ain't gonna even say avoiding judgment. The judgment is in reverse, but it's like, somebody felt as though I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this wrong, and how could I have like known? You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't. Like it's like somebody saying, "Man, I ain't know." That's all I keep hearing. Like I didn't know. Like I never knew. I remember Tony Baker had this thing. The way he used to say, but like I never knew. Shout out to Tony Baker, but yeah, like I never knew. I did, but that's what I'm hearing though. This person saying like I never knew. I never knew there was one. Who seen it? Who seen that song, y'all? I never knew love like this before. That's what I'm hearing. Love like this before. Never had. Don't tell me I know. Hold on. I hate when this happens because I can't move forward without. Like, what was that? Oh, Faith Evans. That low down scoundrel. Mm-mm. But Faith Evans sing that song. I never knew what love was. Somebody, and when you think about that connection she had with Biggie and how she, tried to keep that low key, from Biggie, she was messing around with Tupac and baby, then had the nerve to try to, comfort Lil Kim because she, baby, it could be that situation here. So take it how it resonates. Because they definitely had, like that triangle situation, that third party situation with Biggie and Faith Evans um and Tupac. So yeah. Like I don't think he ever really had, knew who truly loved him, you know, outside of his mom. You know what I'm saying? Your immediate family, your children. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad how people take, a parent away from their children, over fame and, power and stuff like that and rituals and child. They don't give a, it just, makes you want to take your talent and keep it within your city, your state, and rock, you know what I'm saying? Like, most people do, when they have a big fan base like Boosie,
You know, a lot of people have big fan bases that start, you know, in their hometown, their stomping ground, and you know, and that's where it should start. You should, you know, have more support there than anywhere else, and people that's gonna vouch for you and you know be there for you regardless of what your career, you know, turn out to be. Because people don't find out how some artists ain't from they, you don't find out where they truly from until you know they make some type of noise about it, or somebody you know actually you know come out the woodwork and say, hey, I went to high school with Oprah. Like what? Where's that? Oh, it's such a. I didn't know she had roots there. I know, but they'll never tell you because it's not relevant. You know, to their success. It's not relevant to you know what they consider. You know their life. They would like you to think. You know wherever you heard they was from, at the time, currently they would go with that. But somebody kicking themselves in the ass now for like how could I had not. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. That's all I'm hearing. Like they never knew what love was until, and they feeling down. Like you know, mm, clarify the judgment in reverse. They kicking themselves in the ass now, child, because they like feeling a lot of regret, like bad now. You know, for how they see something now. Like how could I have not known? Yeah, real swords, Libra energy again. Like somebody was confused. Because with this judgment in reverse, this is somebody that's confused, you know, as how they saw something. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is how love is. Like, you know, everybody love language different. Know your love language, collective. But this person now, you know, they heartbroken because they broke your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, they caused, you know, an ending, a separation. But this is, you know, that communication of, you know, hey, this, you know, is over. This ain't working. You know, I've had my heart broken, you know, 3 different times. You know what I'm saying? Um, I never knew what love felt like until you came to my world, Three of Swords. I never knew. Page of Swords in the bottom of the deck in reverse. Like this is, you know, somebody, you know, that played a lot of mind games. You know what I'm saying? Like they play games and shit like that because the people they normally deal with is empresses in reverse. You know what I'm saying? They fake divine, false, you know, divine feminine. Like they were people wearing a mask. They were people that, you know, came shape shifting their ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like they say they want this, but they really like that. You know, so it's hard to take somebody that say they for real, for real. Like you might meet them and they playing hard to get it. Pretty soon you find out shit they for the streets. Like you can, you know what I'm saying? You can pretty much get anything past them. They just want you to come over tonight. Oh, and making posts, you know, hey, they been over here. How you gonna say he yours, or how you gonna say she yours if she over here? That's what this person was used to. So they didn't feel like they needed to commit to nobody like that. And if they was trying to commit to him, they found out shit what I'm committing to. Southern playalistic. Somebody player. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was a player. You know what I'm saying? They ain't have to commit because whoever they were dealing with 9 times out of 10 was somebody that was for the streets. Like they were easy. They'll say this, but they really like that. They, you know, play hard, but they really are softy. You know what I'm saying? They really gullible like that. And not saying, you know, you can't be in your gullible, you know, have your gullible side with people that you care about that you can be safe with. But there's people that would manipulate that and take advantage of that because they so used to people coming off one way, and when they get them behind closed doors and they put their thing down, all of a sudden, oh, I'm okay. Get the fuck, get your shit together, all right? Cause it's not cute for some women out here, some ladies out here. It ain't cute to see a easy dude. I mean, if you able to, if you could stand there and look at that person and your pants is off, bye. I mean, you that easy. You that easy. You can go right now, any moment. Let's go. Okay. So don't be surprised if you in alignment with somebody that come towards you, and damn near everybody that come towards you like that. They don't go. And now you saying, man, I used to be like that, man. I ain't trying to, bust down everything come towards me. But you were at one time. And there are a lot of people that remember that. It's a lot of people that feel like, that was how they got to you. That was how they got your attention before. Like, what done changed? And even if you do, they still gonna come at you like that because they not taking you seriously. They feel like if I come good enough, they'll let their guard down. They'll change their mind, and that's why people will take folks' kindness and get them lies. I'm gonna take your kindness, but I'm gonna got some more lies. I got some more lies in me. Be aware. I got some more lies in me. So this person may have had, 3 other connections that, didn't end so well, ended in heartbreak. And they never felt, that kind of love until you came along. They played a lot of games. These people may have played a lot of games with them. Had them thinking that they was in love with them when they really wasn't. Yeah. And it ain't funny, y'all, but I, feel like, you live and you learn. You know what I'm saying? This person played a lot of games. They had secrets. They, lacked trust. They, were just out of touch. You know what I'm saying? With reality. Like somebody, really was not, seeing, their third eye was blocked. Like somebody, had not even awakened. This is somebody definitely in a south node for sure. You know what I'm saying? They was in they south node, like in there. They was in there, child. I ain't gonna even hold you. They was in there. And this is like sadness and gloom, all around them, at one time. So it's like now that, they getting the clarity, you know what I'm saying, the truth with the Ace of Swords, it's like, the reality of what you done did done already happened, shit. 5 of Cups, you can't cry over spilled milk, but, at the same time, shit, you can't undo you did it. You know what I'm saying? This person in a lot of guilt, they criticizing and cussing themselves out, like looking in the mirror like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I ain't even know, until this person came along, I thought, they was like this. You know what I'm saying? I thought I could do this with them. You know what I'm saying? Just be like this with them like I do the rest of them. And somebody, not only, hurt people. And that's why it's important not to just take off and get into another connection, like trying to avoid, having emotion for somebody is not healing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can go through something gracefully and still manage to love yourself and those around you, that is giving you that safeness to do so. You can love people from a distance and still keep it moving. You don't have to wake up thinking about them. You don't have to put energy into something. It takes energy. It takes focus to focus on like, well, shit, every time I get around Tammy, I'm just going, me mug her ass to death. I'm going to be like this, like that. You know how much focus that take when you could have just, accepted that whatever Tammy coming with, you can just do what you need to do when you around Tammy and, be yourself. Don't let Tammy change you because Tammy changing. Or Tammy the way she is, or Tommy the way he is. Shit, let them do what they doing. But if that person start to change you for the worse, you need to get the fuck on down. Because that's the only 2 options you got. They either gonna change you for the worse, or they gonna change you for the better. You decide. You got to work around them. You have to live next door to them. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to. You living next door to them. You don't have to be, they welcome at. You don't have to be, they punching bag. At any time, you can 9-1 stand up for yourself. You can stand your ground like, listen, I ain't that person. I don't know who you used to do that with or who made you feel like you needed to be that way, but I ain't that person. I only knew you, 2 months, 12 hours. I don't think I've given you that kind of direction to go in with me. And if I have, you should have said something. You should have spoke up. Use your throat chakra. Activate your throat chakra. Speak up. Don't just talk shit, you know what I'm saying, when it is going to bring a smile to somebody's face or when you want a reaction. Speak up when you know it's going to count for something that's going to bring you some type of balance and structure because What good is your voice if it ain't speaking truth? What good is your voice if it ain't, bringing life and speaking, positivity into something or somebody or something? So this person done had their heart broken before. Libra masculine, you got the Three of Swords out here, but Libra masculine out here in the makeshift deck. So now seeing that these were jealous, messy karmics. And these could have been family members. Now seeing that these was jealous, messy karmics, clarify. Who was these jealous, messy karmics? What were they? Clarify now seeing that these was jealous, messy karmics. Cause them to see it now. What caused them to see these? What caused them to see these karmics now? What happened with this? Now seeing these was jealous, messy karmics. What happened? Yeah. Virgo energy. Magician in reverse. Seven of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. These were people that was manipulative. I'm saying these were people that, created illusions for somebody, like, saying things, they felt like, this that made sense to this person, brought up things in their past, brought up things they felt like this person could relate to, to make something convincing, even if they gotta, bring somebody in to support it. Like, man, tell them that that person. Tell them that you related to, somebody kin to them. You know what I'm saying? They'll believe that shit they'll believe it if you tell them. Okay? They'll believe it if you tell them. But there could have been like a mother figure. Like I said, it could have been some family members, but you got the Seven of Cups out here. Five of Cups in reverse with the Five of Swords. 555 could be significant. But somebody, realizing now they getting a harsh reality, you know what I'm saying, check when it comes to, clarity about the people around them with this Seven of Cups in reverse. Scorpio energy. These were jealous, messy karmics. Like this could have been, friends, a friend group. This could have been, a friend, a family member here, a co-worker here, a homeboy here and there. You know what I'm saying? Hidden enemies. These were people that was, basically just instigating. You know what I'm saying? Like they were really just keeping a close eye on whatever this person was doing, paying attention to what they were saying, what they would come to them and tell them about or something like that, making them feel like it's okay for them to, tell their business or express, what they feeling or what's going on between them and whoever else they dealing with. And it's like they start shooting it down. They tell them something good. These people tell them something negative, telling them a negative way to look at it. Spin it like this, do it like that, try this, test that. And somebody tried and tested their ass right up out of connection. And got confused as hell about who really loved them. Who really cares? Who really gives a damn? And it's like the one person that gave a damn, they lied to him. Gave him all kind of, wolf tickets and shit. Like, yeah, this person, now, it done came to a ending now. You know what I'm saying? The trickery, the lies, the illusions that a lot of these people created for them. Like, they seeing these people now, it's somebody that they were very manipulative. You know what I'm saying? Like, they kept this person, with some type of anxiety about something, like feeling like, I'm gonna do this, out of fear. I'm gonna do this, out of confusion. You know what I'm saying? So this person, could want to, try again. This is like, hope and happiness returning. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody wants to restore something that they lost. They want to regain something after getting this clarity. They want to regain, this hope, this happiness they used to have, with you. But they know it's going to come with, some type of, conflict, or it's gonna be some type of they feel like they're gonna be met with some type of hostility. You know what I'm saying? Because in the past they may have came off as arrogant, like they didn't give a damn. Um, and they were, not going, following their spiritual path. Like somebody was not on the right path. But there was a lot of, illusions being cast, a lot of people manipulating the energy, you know what I'm saying, with this dark warlock out here. Like they may have been part of, this Miss Edge group, but they, looking at the fact that with this Seven of Cups, like this is, them, whatever somebody, dreams where it's like, it done came full circle. Like they getting clarity of like, damn, how I saw myself, or what I thought I was becoming, or what I thought I was getting out of being in this group, or what I thought, this group can bring me, or what I thought, this group would help me get toward. It didn't help me at all. If it's a group of people, if it's an organization, if it's a rank that they hold somewhere with this, they repenting at this point. They got to. They got to, because the people that they've been listening to, they didn't really care nothing about, what they had really going on. Clarify the Magician in reverse. Seeing these was jealous, messy karmics. Messy as fuck. What's this? Clarify this Magician in reverse. What's the Magician in reverse? Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Somebody learn their lesson now, child. You got the Ace of Wands in reverse. Aries, Leo, Sag. Like somebody done, lost, whatever passion, or they done lost, whatever. Or somebody feel like, somebody done lost passion for another person. Because you got the Queen of Wands out here in reverse. And this is somebody, that's, dealing with a lot of insecurities. Excuse me, jealous, envious, and they don't lack passion, for this person. These jealous, messy karmics could be, a Virgo. Don't have to be. An air sign could be dealing with a fire sign, or somebody with fire in their chart. But it's like somebody, dealt with somebody that was jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? Like they were very envious of you. And they made things, complicated for this person by, um, making them, saying things and, causing illusions and making them look at you a certain way so they could use their gifts towards you in a dark way. You know what I'm saying? Making them speak ill, they speak ill of you, trying to prove to them something, or saying things, to kind of, trigger this person into, defense mode. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you need to protect yourself, man, because they doing this, with this Ace of Wands, this King of Wands out here. They, and this Nine of Wands in reverse, like somebody was trying to make another person feel as though, man, they doing that. That what they doing? Shit, you need to do this. They probably did do this and do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Do this to them. Go do this. Go, try that. And this person did, child, and they kicking themselves in that. Because the person that, was trying to tell them, or, gaslighting them, was wearing a mask, the divine feminine in reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse. Like, and somebody could be an earth sign with fire in their chart as well. But this is low vibrational, okay? But at the same time, this is somebody that now is having to accept the fact that when it comes to them losing his passion, it came with the territory. Like I feel like whatever passion and new beginning, somebody thought they would have by getting this person to work against you and come against a person or come, use their gifts for dart, to go against a actual person. Like somebody wanted another person to believe you were a fake, a phony, you know what I'm saying? Like you putting on they the real empress, they the real divine, you know what I'm saying? They were really dealing with a false person. They wasn't just karmic. Somebody was just false. Period. Like somebody was fake as hell. So when it came to them, the passion they used to have or whatever, ignited these two, at one time, like, that done fell away. You got the four swords that came out too. Libra energy. Like somebody, is at peace. You know what I'm saying? They laying something to rest. You know what I'm saying? They reevaluating, recouping, talking to the most high. You know what I'm saying? 3 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Like they wide open right now. Like somebody, want to bring some type of peace to a situation. Like they, this is them speaking, you know what I'm saying, and repenting, like calling some type of truce and, like saying, hey, I want to, have, some peace in a situation. Like I need to, make this right. With the 3 of Wands in reverse. I mean, with the 3 of Wands at the bottom of the deck with the Temperance in reverse. King of Pentacles. So, this person want to demonstrate, now what lessons they learned. You know what I'm saying? Like they've learned some things now that they feel like they, makes them prepared to like step up, you know what I'm saying, and take this accountability, especially, if they, were reckless in the past, was off balance, you know what I'm saying, and overly indulgent, you know what I'm saying, doing things, to self-heal, you know what I'm saying, like going out of their way to, instead of, asking the universe and waiting on the universe and asking God, for his help. It's like somebody was doing everything but that. They were, looking at other ways, other practices of, relieving their stress or relieving their anger, or getting, whatever type of understanding or clarity or balance. They went everywhere but to God. And now this is the only option they got. This is the only option they got. Because there's some disharmony between you and them now. You know what I'm saying? Like they, there's a lot of deception. This third party situation didn't do nothing but cause, a lot of betrayal. They seeing now a lot of deception that was going on, a lot of gossiping and shit that went on, and it really now they got a person where they feel like the only stability they can see is, they got what they need, you know what I'm saying? But it's like somebody don't have, that person. It's like I got the money I need, I got this, I got that. I just don't have this. And somebody sees you as, a stable foundation. Like somebody sees you as a solid investment. They see you as home, This dark warlock is coming to God in repentance. Show me this person. Clarify. Show me this dark warlock just coming to God in repentance. Clarify this dark warlock is coming to God in repentance to him. This dark warlock is coming to God in repentance to him. Because I feel like somebody feel weighed down now. They feel, burdened. This dark warlock is coming to God in prayer and repenting to him. Clarify. Yeah, devil in reverse. Yeah, they got the devil in reverse. Got the temperance at the bottom of the deck. But yeah, this person, they overcoming addictions. Like somebody, letting go, of this darkness that they held. You know what I'm saying? They regaining, standing in their power. Somebody don't want to be attached to the things that they, was part of. You don't want any involvement with it no more. Like somebody releasing themselves. They want to be free, from whatever bindings or bondage they had, whatever ties they had with this group, with these people, they don't want anything to do with it no more. Like they releasing themselves, like they surrendering. Clarify the devil in reverse. Like they going toward their power. They want to stand in their power, like somebody reclaiming and regaining, like, control of their life, like not going that way. Devil in reverse. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, like somebody don't want to be in that energy anymore. Like they see they don't have to be this way. They found that way, or that person, and you kind of done open up the portal for them to see, like they done seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Like it's like, I see hope, you know what I'm saying, with this person. Clarify the devil in reverse. Seven of Swords in reverse. Like somebody taking, accountability, a confession. Telling you, Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck in reverse also. Like this person, want to turn over a new leaf. Possibly with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or this is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius masculine. Because Libra masculine is out here. They want to, they could have had this in their chart. They could, have air in their chart. But somebody definitely, want to return, they in some type of recovery. Like they want, hope and happiness to return, to them. Like they, yeah. They what's the overall outcome in this situation moving forward? What's the overall outcome in this situation moving forward? My collective read this thing. Like what is the overall outcome moving forward? I pulled the top of the card, this top card off the makeshift deck. I just reached over because I'm not gonna use this tarot deck to like get the answer I wanted. And so I said, some said, just reach over and grab the top card off the top of the makeshift deck. So I was like, let me just grab the top card and see what it say, and we'll go with that. You know what the top card said? Past relationship returning from the dead. Past relationship turning from the dead. And I'm going to end it here. You guys make sure you do something nice for someone today. Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button on your way out. And as always, those of you that genuinely love me, know that I love you too. Mwah. Bye.